Hi, everyone. My name is Sean Clearwater with Full Focus Financial, and I'm here today to talk to you about the top 5 things that business owners need to know about 401k plans, whether they're evaluating getting one or about the one that they might have themselves. And just so you know, 401k is synonymous with retirement plan. So you might have a profit sharing plan, you might have a cash balance plan, you might have a 403b or 457. There's a number of different labels that each of them have, but one way or another, it's a retirement plan for you and or your employees. Number one on the list is the investment options. So as an owner of a company that has employees, the most difficult thing is trying to figure out something that'll please everyone. And it's basically impossible, but you always want to make an effort. So the best way to do that is to have a subset of all of the options that are available in the marketplace that you think align well with the employees that you have and the objectives that you understand that they'll have for their retirement savings goals. So oftentimes we find that plans that have hundreds of investment options are just far too overwhelming. But you don't want to go on the other end of the spectrum and just have a few to choose from. So you have to have a good balance, and you really should have someone advising you and guiding you along the way of getting to where you want to be there. So sometimes something on the order of 15 to 30 investment options is a healthy number, but you want them to be broad in what their objectives are. And then you also have to stay cost conscious and focus on what their expense ratios are. And again, you really need a professional to help guide you in this way. The other thing to keep in mind here in regard to investment options is that you don't want to just set it and forget it. This is something that should be reviewed on a regular annual basis, sometimes more often if you're noticing that there are some issues in the plan with regard to performance or expense ratios or other such things that you might struggle with. There are always opportunities to make improvements throughout the year with your investment options. So that's number one. Number two is the cost structure. So the cost structures with retirement plans vary wildly because there are so many different roles and responsibilities within a retirement plan. You've got a number of different individuals sometimes and organizations and professionals involved, from accountants that are doing audits on the plan to investment advisors that are helping choose the investments and monitoring their performance, hopefully, to administrators, record keepers, third-party administrators, custodians, 338s, 321s, 316s. There's an entire structure when it comes to looking at all the different opportunities for people and individuals and again organizations to be involved with the functioning and operating of a well-run retirement plan. The bigger the plan, oftentimes the more complex it is, but it doesn't have to be. So having someone on your side watching out for the trends in the marketplace and the things that can be done to cut back costs when it comes to removing things that are redundant or unnecessary. These are all important things to keep an eye on because they'll have an effect on your employees' retirement goals. And oftentimes that includes you as a business owner because you're often one of the key contributors in the plan. So it's your money too. And so paying attention to ensuring that there's efficient cost structures in place and that there isn't unnecessary waste, that everything is for a purpose. That's real important to pay attention to. Item number 3 is participation in education, making sure that the plan that you've put together for your employees is being used by your employees. Education is tricky because everybody's got a different appetite for where they're at in their life and what their objectives are. But being able to have a resource available to them when it comes to times that they have questions related to financial topics, they need to have a resource to go to. And if you can be the one that provides that by virtue of your retirement plan, it'll just add that much more value that's hard to quantify oftentimes for these participants. And having an advisor that's managing the plan, that's regularly communicating with financial topics that can vary wildly, but doing that regularly. So that way they've always got a regular stream of educational material available to them. It'll help keep them engaged and it'll help make them better employees at the end of the day. There are some simple things that we notice that employers are missing out on when it comes to choosing someone to help educate their employees. There's something referred to as the savers credit, where oftentimes when I'm seeing low participation from the employee side with regard to the operation of a plan in that metric, It's often a lack of education and participants not being aware that there's an opportunity for them to save money in their retirement plan and with their employer that they end up getting credit back for on their taxes. So it ends up being nearly no net cost, no out of pocket for them to be saving and participating in that plan. And this is just something that we're noticing in the marketplace that many participants and employers, for that matter, just aren't familiar with and aren't promoting and making sure that everyone that can participate in things such as that are participating. Number four, flexibility and scalability. This is in particular in relation to how your 401k or your retirement plan is affecting your HR team. So your human resources team is the one that's often taking the initial phone calls from new employees that are trying to get enrolled in the plan, existing employees that maybe need a loan to buy a house or have a hardship that they need to deal with, or employees that just need to make changes to their payroll deductions, or they want to make changes on what the investments are. They're always coming to the HR team because that's their assumption that they need to come there first. So if you're noticing that there's a lot of what we refer to as operational drag. So if your HR team is getting inundated with more than, honestly, I'd argue more than 1% of their time being spent on retirement plan related questions, answers, and support, that's an opportunity to take advantage of outsourcing that and utilizing another organization, part of the operation of your retirement plan should be responsible for that, not your HR team. More than likely, your HR team is not a host of licensed, certified financial advisors. They're good at human resources, not necessarily the operation and choosing of investments and things of that nature. So that stuff should all be outsourced, and you should be referencing and referring your employees to a proper educational source in that regard. Item number five, and the last one for today, is in regard to compliance. If you're an HR executive, or if you're a C-level executive, or a business owner yourself that's signing the 5500, you may not be aware that there is another way. There's an opportunity to take advantage of something that's referred to as a 316, where you can outsource the signing of that 5500 form. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why would I be worried about signing the 5500? My accountant said I should just sign the bottom and it's good to go. And more often than not, that's what people are doing, even on their own personal taxes. This isn't an option on your personal taxes, but when it comes to filing a 5500 form for your retirement plan, you do have a choice. As soon as you sign that 5500 form, you become a fiduciary of that plan. And what does that mean? It is a long laundry list of responsibilities as a fiduciary of the plan that you are now responsible for by signing it. You need to be making sure that you're not overpaying in fees, you're benchmarking it across all of the other metrics, and that then it's functioning as well as it can be, and you don't have any gross negligence issues. There are many, many, many plans that we've looked at where there are unfortunately gross negligence issues where, for example, there are equivalent funds at cheaper costs. And there's just no answer for why that is other than negligence. So in order to help our clients avoid scenarios like that, we're regularly reviewing the plan and the options that the investments have in the marketplace to ensure that we're not overpaying and our clients aren't overpaying when they don't need to. So, there are a number of other things compliance wise that need to be double checked that we're seeing issues with, things like fidelity bonds being insufficient, and terminated employees remaining on a plan when they don't need to be. They can be systematically removed, which will reduce future liability, among other things. So when it comes to compliance, there are a number of different nuances here that are real important to pay attention to, that are likely not something that most owners of companies and HR executives, for that matter, are fluent with. So we encourage utilizing other resources and professionals that do specialize in these areas to ensure that you're not missing any opportunity to check a box and stay compliant and remove yourself from future liability and unnecessary legal expenses that may come down the road by virtue of not having paid attention to one thing or another. So that's it. Those are our top five things that business owners need to know for retirement plans, whether you're looking at getting one and these are things that you want to pay attention to as you establish one, or whether you've already got one. Definitely encourage you to rewatch this and find areas where you might be able to fine tune things inside your own plan, if that's what you've currently got in front of you. but we're also here as a resource. Feel free to click the link in the description of this video for more information. We're here to support you. Thanks very much. In the event any of these previous topics or items sparked an interest in something in particular that you'd like to see us discuss in the future, please put those comments below and we'll address them in future videos. Thank you very much.